Alright, so we got the controller here. This is a Super Nintendo controller, and we've opened it up and I've taken all the screws out of it. And now we've just got the wires, and I stripped them all down a little bit. I just went ahead and cut the cable off that used to connect to here. And you don't have to strip them down too far, just enough to solder them onto something a little bit, because we're going to solder them onto this chip. And this chip will turn this whole controller into USB, and we want to plug it into a computer and play it with an emulator so that we can play Super Nintendo games on our computer with whatever ROMs you downloaded. So we're going to go ahead and show you that now. Alright, so as you can see, the USB wires were already pre-soldered on there. They come like that when you get the kit. And if you notice, the wire that I'm currently soldering to, it already had solder on it. The board already had solder on it. And it'll have solder on all the spots that you actually need to solder to. All the spots that you don't want to solder onto don't have any solder on it. So you don't really even need any solder at all. It already has it on there for you, unless you mess up and you need a little bit more. But the first wire you want to solder, as you can see, is the closest one to the USB is the brown wire. And then the one right behind that is the white wire. You can see this pretty clearly. And then you just want to flip over the board onto its other side so that the wires are now facing the other way. Now once you have that, so that the wires are now facing the opposite way they were in the beginning, you have 3 more solder points with 3 more cables. You want to start at the top, which is on the opposite side of where the USB wires are, and you want to use the orange wire first, and you're just going to solder that into the first point that has solder already on it. Once you get the orange wire soldered, you want to now do the yellow wire, and you want to solder it to the next one right below the orange wire. And then now take the red wire, and as you can see, I have a little bit of a mess up on the end of the red wire, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Now just take the red wire and go ahead and solder it to the last one, the last spot on the chip. After you get it soldered on there, all you need to do is put the controller back together and go hook it up to your computer. Hope you enjoyed this.